Hey, welcome back everybody, and I wanted you to know I am starting a new series today, which is going to be completely different than everything else I've done, and that involves reviewing music videos. I'm going to give you my take on particular music videos from a therapist perspective. So you got a real life psychotherapist here. I've been doing this for 25 years in the mental health field, and there is no better person to start with than the man NF. NF is going to be my guy that I'm going to start with. Probably will do several videos. You know, I was introduced to him several years back by my older son, and I thought, I'm not sure about this guy. It's rap. I can't really understand it. And then I heard there was kind of a Christian bend to it, so I was intrigued. And believe it or not, I've become such a fan. I've actually been to 2 concerts of his, one recently, the Clouds Tour, and I am super pumped to just dive in as a therapist. I'm going to give you the mental health perspective of what NF's saying in these songs, at least from my view of having seen, children, teenagers, adults, couples, families, all over the past 25 years. So we're going to dive into some cool videos. The very first one, none other than Just Like You, has a lot of deep content in it, but I cannot wait. And if y'all like this, hit the button, subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more where that came from. So without wasting any more time, let's just dive right in.
Just in case my car goes off the highway, or the plane that I get on decides that it's my last day, I want you to know when you're alone and you feel afraid, you're not the only person in the world that isn't okay.
Oh, I got to stop. I got to stop right there. Because that line right there is key for anybody to understand. You're not the only person in the world that isn't okay. And most people that come into my office that want therapy, that's how they feel. I'm the only one going through this. It is horrible right now and they need to change. So no matter what's going on, everybody's been through something and everybody's troubles are big. We need to pay attention to that.
There's millions of us just like you, like you, like you. Just like you, like you. There's millions of us just like you, like you, like you. Just like you, like you. It's strange the way the mind can wander, but also stop the gossip and chat with memories that you and me aren't really fond of. Maybe you're out to find love, maybe you lost who you was, maybe you're just like me and feel the need to stay in your rut.
Oh God, that was so huge right there, because so many people want to stay in the rut, not on purpose. When you look at the mental health field and you look at like psychotherapy and trying to change and undo patterns from your past, people have been through tons of trauma. They've been through divorces, they've been through deaths, they've been through abuse, they've been through just hard times and growing up in a rough spot. It is easier actually to stay in your rut, believe it or not. And tell people who are in marriage struggling whether they're going to get divorced or not, it's easiest just a divorce. That's the easiest option. It's easiest to stay in addiction. It's easiest to stay depressed. It's easiest to stay with anxiety. It's hard to actually make a change. So when he says that there, like, maybe you're doing this, looking for this, wanting to find this, but boy, it's easier to stay in that rut.
Cause if you left it, you might feel like you're no longer you. It's so impressive the way the mind can play with the truth. It's interesting that nobody can walk in your shoes but still relate and feel the same. So in a way, guess we do.
This is the cornerstone of 12-step programs and addiction, right? That even if you've been through something nobody else has, other people can relate. So no matter what addiction anybody's been through, if they walk into a 12-step program and they get help and they go to AA or NA or any other addiction program, there are people who relate to that. They understand exactly what you've been through, whether you have millions of dollars or no dollars, whether you've grown up in a completely loving home or a horribly abusive home. The relating when it comes to addiction is huge, and especially trauma, abuse, that even though nobody else has been through what you have, and that's pretty important to understand because people often feel judged, that other people who have been through that can feel your pain. And one of the things I heard a long time ago was that even people who've been through the most struggle, abuse, trauma are the most compassionate people. They're the ones who can give so much love because they know what it's like to go through the struggle.
You ever think about what it would be like if the clubs were gone and you could see light? If the door was open, would you take flight or just close the curtains up and stay inside? Take a walk with me, take a risk with me. I'm scared too, and it gets so tempting when you're so empty to disown everything you want. Dealing when you know clearly you've been so buried in your own fairy tale. So staring, bunch of holes in me. I relate to it, but in case you've been thinking no one does, it's a great theory. Throw a Hail Mary, let your mind fly to the sunrise. Could be so scary, make your faith vary. Feel the pain glaring, but the weight carried ain't in vain. Hear me?
There was so much packed into that. Like, there was from, even though you've been through so much, take a chance, like take a risk with me because it is worth it. Throw a Hail Mary, which is like the play at the end of the game to just, throw it up and hope something good happens. And every now and then something actually does happen. And when you throw a Hail Mary and you let your mind fly to the sunrise, it can be scary, but make your faith vary. Feel the pain glaring, but the weight carried ain't in vain. Hear me. He's saying it's not in vain. This risk you're taking, this chance you're taking to get hurt again or to fall down again is not in vain.
Just in case my car goes off the highway or the plane that I get on decides that it's my last day. I want you to know when you're alone and you feel afraid, you're not the only person in the world that isn't okay. There's millions of us just like you, like you, like you, just like you, like you. There's millions of us just like you, like you, like you, just like you, like you. So often I feel desperate. I think my heart's infected. How about yours? How about yours? How about yours? I guess it. You feel the best when your life is hectic. You might be destined to stay defective. So join the club. It ain't that hard to get in.
It's not hard to get in this club of a bunch of defects and a bunch of problems and people complaining and people staying down. And that's what he's saying. How about yours? If you feel best when things are hectic, the anxiety, the depression, the addiction, you feel best staying in that, well, that's not a hard club to get in. Anybody can get in that and stay in that. Again, that's the easiest way to live. And he's like, dude, join the club. Like, I've been there. I know what that feels like, just to stay down, beat down, blame people, and blame all my problems on everybody else. It's hardest to get up and out of that and change life.
It's hard to leave though. Look at the guest list. I bet that your name is on it. Don't believe me? Check it. See, dead ends in life we come to tend to raise some questions. Suggestion. Know that your feelings might give wrong directions.
Oh, this happens so often. When I see people in my office, they live life by their feelings. And if their feelings come from past problems, pain, struggle, trauma again, addiction, a divorce, abuse, any of that stuff happens, then your feelings tell you stay away from that. You're going to get hurt again. Things are going to fall down. And you have to be able to pay attention to the fact that your feelings may not always give you the right direction. You need to have an outside view. That's why therapy is so valuable, y'all. All therapists are not normal. Let me be the first to tell you that. But when you find a good one who knows what they're talking about, understands trauma, addiction, pain, anxiety, depression, you're going to find somebody who helps you see where you want to go and take you there. They're not just going to sit there and quick fix your problems. And they're also not going to sit there and just listen to your feelings. They're going to say, it sounds like you're kind of staying in this pattern, in this cycle, and you're saying you want to get out of it, but your behavior through your relationships, your job, your life, your spending, your use of pornography, your sex, your money, your food, the way you eat it, all of that is keeping you in the same spot. So it's time to change.
Infested with the feeling of failure. Let it take over your body. It makes you question the life that you have. Situations you might have enjoyed become nothing but dated. Old and forgotten, but what would you say if I told you that there was some hope we can make it? I know what you're thinking, I'm thinking it too. Could you really improve and be something worth saving? See, I can pretend like I have all the answers, but none of us do. It's the reason we battle. Convincing yourself that you don't really matter. Defeating a cancer and letting it travel to every part of you. But what if we did? And you think of pulling catch on a trip?
Oh, man. Okay. When it talks about the cancer here, like, this is, it's like feeding it and making a cancer even worse, staying in the same rut that we're in. Very hard to get out of life the way that we've started patterns, but it's so fruitful and valuable if we can change one little bit at a time. But it's like feeding a cancer and letting it travel to every part of you. But what if we did the unthinkable and cancel our trips, like just took a break and got out of the pattern and the crazy life that we're living? What would happen then?
What's achievable depends on the risk, so pick up your chin and listen to this. Just in case my car goes off the highway or Or the plane that I get on decides that it's my last day. I want you to know when you're alone and you feel afraid, you're not the only person in the world that isn't okay. There's millions of us just like you, like you, like you. Just like you, like you. There's millions of us just like you, like you, like you. Just like you, like you. Yeah. Everybody falls sometimes. Just remember that that's alright. It's the rainy days that give us love for the sun. And if it isn't, I guess I'll be fine believing it does. Yeah. Everybody falls sometimes. Just remember that that's alright.
I got to stop there because if you look back at that, where that said,
that's alright. It's the rainy days that give us love for the sun. And if it isn't, I guess I'll be fine believing it does.
it's the rainy days that give us love for the sun. Like, if we didn't have the rainy days, we wouldn't love the sun so much. It's the same as somebody who lives in the sun every day, who loves a little rain every now and then. We cannot appreciate what we love unless we don't have it. And so those rainy days can help us appreciate what we could have. The trouble is, so many people feel so beaten down. There's no hope and there's no help. There is help in lyrics like this. This guy's amazing. Like, the lyrics he writes, the depth he has, and the truths that he has, basically from his own life, will tell you all you need to know, that there is hope and there can be change, and it's not just a miracle, and he's not just making this stuff up. He's just talking from what he's lived through. And if a guy's gone to enough therapy, probably like he has, and has realized enough about the trauma and how the trauma is just repeating his negativity, his anger, his rage, which I'll get into in other videos. If he's done enough of that work, then you can too, to be able to climb up and out of where you've come from. But you need help outside of yourself to do it. That's what's cool about what he's saying.
Everybody falls sometimes. Just remember that that's alright. It's the lows in life that make you cherish the highs. And if it isn't, I guess I'll be fine believing in life. Just in case my car goes off the highway, or the plane that I get on decides that it's my last day. I want you to know when you're alone and you feel afraid, you're not the only person in the world that isn't okay. There's millions of us just like you, like you, like you. Just like you, like you. It's millions of us just like you, like you, like you. Just like you, like you.
Wow. Huge. What a great video to start on. And if y'all have requests of other videos of NF or somebody else you want me to do from a mental health perspective, from a real psychotherapist who is in practice every day with clients like me, shoot it my way. Give me a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to do more NF coming your way. This was a perfect picture of how, no matter the anxiety, depression, stress, trauma, abuse you've been through, there is a way to overcome that. Shout out to NF. Great video, great lyrics, great concert to go to. And he has just got amazing material. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this with everybody you know.